Okay, I'm going to start out with our team captains for this ball game. Again, we vote weekly as a coaching staff to decide who deserves to be the captain, offense, defense, special teams. At the end of the year, our players decide who the permanent captains will be. On offense, we've got Travis Homer. Defense, Shaq Quarterman, Michael Pinkney. And on special teams, Jaquan Johnson. I don't even know if anybody made note of it, but we punted 3 times. Jaquan made all 3 tackles. Very impressive. A week before against Florida State, we give up a touchdown and a long run on top of that on the kickoff team. And really, Jaquan actually tackled the guy twice on one play. He got him on the ground. The knee hit, but we weren't sure, so he kept running, and Jaquan got back up and tackled him again. So really, he had 4 tackles in 3 plays, which is hard to do. That was impressive. Getting ready to play Boston College here on Friday, another non-traditional night for college football. Coach Adazio is doing a super job there. I really like him, getting to know him in the ACC coaches meetings and just his approach to everything. He's kind of a no-nonsense guy. He likes things to make sense, and you kind of know what you're getting with him. So I've really appreciated him and getting to know him and how he goes about his business. Their last ball game, they beat Louisville 38-20. They racked up 430 yards of total offense and had 35-plus points for the fifth time this season. Very impressive what they're doing offensively. Had 2 running backs that weren't named Dylan have 100 yards apiece in that ball game. Zach Allen, number 2, their preseason All-American, had 7 tackles. He had 3 tackles for loss. He had a sack, blocked a PAT. He was the ACC Defensive Lineman of the Week. Great player. While we're at that, I think they've got 10 returning starters on offense, 7 on defense, something like 30 to 35 seniors on their team. Just a very mature veteran ball club that kind of like their coach, no nonsense and get after people. In their last ball game, they also had a blocked punt for a touchdown for the 2nd straight game, and they're 4-0 at home. And of course, they got their red bandana night, and it's a very worthy event. Obviously, one of their people was a hero in the 9/11. I wish I could remember his name right off the top of my head, but I can't. But when you see the stories about what happened, just very inspirational, I'm sure, to them, but it'll inspire us as well for his heroics. Their offense for the season, averaging 39 points a game, almost 450 yards per game. They've scored 39 touchdowns. That's the most in the ACC. They've got 19 out of 25 red zone attempts have been touchdowns. Their quarterback's thrown for over 1,200 yards and 14 touchdowns. And BC ranks number 1 in the ACC in passing efficiency. Their running back, Dylan, has rushed for 652 yards and 6 TDs and hadn't even played in the last 2 games. So they got 5 receivers that have had 10 catches or more. Their tight end leads the way with 17 catches, 3 touchdowns. His name's Sweeney, number 89, and this is actually his 46th game. And their offensive line, I think when the season started, had combined starts of 139 games. So, again, very experienced bunch. Senior receiver, Michael Walker, number 3. He's 2nd in the ACC in all-purpose yards. He's also had 5 carries for 30 yards. Their senior receiver, number 6, Smith, is averaging 18.4 yards per catch. Defensively, overall, 26 points a game, 380 yards a game. They've picked off 11 passes, and they've recovered 6 fumbles. They're +6 in turnover ratio. Again, Allen, number 2, has racked up 36 tackles, 11 tackles for loss, 4.5 sacks. Had 100 tackles last year, and we're talking about a defensive end, not a linebacker. So just very mature guy again. 45 opportunities for him. The 45th game he's playing in. Strahan, number 13, leads the team with 54 tackles. McDuffie, number 55, has 38 tackles, 4.5 tackles for loss, and 2.5 sacks. Cheevers, number 4, leads the team with 4 picks, and he's getting a lot of yards after each catch. definitely a ball hawk. And then their senior DB, Harris, number 8, is leading the secondary in tackles with 41. They ranked number number 1 in the ACC for kickoff coverage, 43 yards net. Walker leads the conference in kickoff return yards, 25.9 a game. BC's attempted 3 field goals, made them all, and their sophomore punter, number 95, Carlson, is averaging 39.4 yards on 36 punts, and I think 9 inside the 20. So they do a really good job in all areas. They're super strong, mature, solid football team that will get after you. And playing at their home where they haven't been beaten is going to be quite a challenge for us. So with that, we'll open it up and see what you guys want to ask.
Do you expect to see Dylan, and even if he doesn't play, does it make that much?
Yeah, well, they don't change their scheme if Dylan's not in. He's had a long time to get healthy, but I don't know the type of ankle injury. People talk about a high ankle sprain. They're usually a little more severe. But my guess is they don't want to play him until he's really ready. And whether or not he's ready or not, I don't know. But I don't think it'll change their scheme. But you watch Dylan play, he's a beast. I mean, there's no doubt about it. He's a giant man for a running back. And I think early in the year, I forgot who they were playing. But I'm watching him play somebody on a Thursday, Friday night, something like that, and he just trucking people, and they were getting after it up front. So they're impressive running the ball. Yes.
Are you aware of a video that surfaced on social media that shows the Kosi Perry?
Yes, I saw that. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, it's been addressed. It was not very mature. Obviously, he didn't break any laws. He didn't break any NCAA rules. I mean, he's in good standing. But, you know, the image is not good. We don't like that. And he just got to be more mature and more wise with what he does. So I didn't like it. He knows that. He knows that it was not a very wise thing to do. But, you know, like I said, it's been addressed, and no rules have been broken. He's in good standing.
Mark, have you questioned him about where the money came from to make sure it wasn't an NCAA?
We covered our bases. We covered our bases on everything.
Mark, with a week to look at the offense and kind of evaluate where you are on that side of the ball, what did you see?
Mostly, like I said before, after the game, I mean, it was mostly a matter of how we executed or lack thereof. Just too many missed assignments, too many opportunities that we had that we didn't take advantage of one way or another. There's a lot of, whether it was a drop ball here and there or inaccurate throw or a protection breaking down, or, you know, when you added them all up, about 40 out of 60 plays, we had our own self-inflicted wounds. And you add a team that was well prepared, had 2 weeks, and did a really nice job of playing defensive football. Those things all added up for what happened, and that's why we got to make sure everything we put in we can execute, and we got to practice. We got to practice well.
I apologize.
Yeah.
I know that maturity was one of the things that you and John really wanted to see from those young guys coming into the season. How disappointed or how concerning was that moment that you guys had to kind of revisit some of those issues with McCarthy? And
Well, everything is it's a learning experience. You know, college is a learning experience. You know, guys are human. Guys make mistakes. I think if everybody's really honest with themselves and kind of look back at that age, time when you're that age, and if everybody knew everything you did, there'd probably be some embarrassing moments. And but you know, the quarterback position, I expect more. We're gonna demand more. And until everybody grows up, we'll keep disciplining.
Is he going to play more this game? You know, you said before he was going to play.
He's in good standing to play.
The other thing I want to ask you about the quarterback position, can it be troublesome? I don't know what the word is, but detrimental in any way when you switch quarterbacks, when you have more than one come in, and what if the league's doing great and you said the other guy is going to play?
Yeah, we'll manage that. We'll handle that.
Okay.
I guess what goes into the decision-making process for you? Is it, do you look at all as far as the defense that you're facing, maybe guys?
As far as who's going to start or who's going to play in the middle of the game, like if I was going to put Coast in or not, that part of it.
Right.
I think Kosey's come far enough to play in a game when it counts the most. Right now, I think Malik gives us a better opportunity to win as the starter. So, you know, am I saying 100% he's going to get in the game? No, but you know, the plan would be for our second team quarterback to get in the game. And any time that I've been coaching, if I got a second team guy that's ready enough to get in the game and is only going to get better with game reps, I want to get that guy in the game. If I don't think he's going to hurt the team in some way, shape, or form. You know, I think Kosey's has come far enough to at least earn the right to get into a game as a number 2 right now. And whether or not the situation's right and all that, like I said, we'll manage that as it comes.
Are you second guessing yourself at all for changing the starting situation for the North Carolina?
Well, not really, because I believed what I believed, and you know, so I mean, you got to go with your gut and your heart and what you believe is right. And when you think something's right, then you do it. And then if you think making a change back is a better decision, regardless of what people might think, you got to do it. I mean, that's what leadership's all about, to make decisions that may not be popular or may not be understood. But it's just like I told all the quarterbacks, this is not a personal thing against anybody or for anybody. We as coaches are trying to get the best players to get in the game that gives the best chance to win at all positions. That's how we're doing it. And when I made the decision to go with Kosey, you know, I thought that was the right thing to do at the time. And then when I made the change, I thought that was the right thing to do at the time. So the good news is Malik handled the demotion like a man and didn't do a bunch of things that might hurt his chance to be the guy again. He just went back to work, and he was supporting his teammate. You know, I think the other thing that's good is those two kids actually like each other a lot. I think there's a great camaraderie in the quarterback room. And I think we all want the same end, and that's to win. And if one guy felt like the other guy being in the game would help us win, I think he would say, I'd rather him be in the game, unselfishly, and that's hard to do. But anyway, I think we're on a good track. I don't think Malik's credibility with the team is diminished at all. I think they still believe in Malik, and I think if Kosey was in the game, they'd say, let's roll. That's just how I think the team would react.
Where is Jaron Williams at this stage of his development?
I mean, he's learning. He's getting there. You know, everything. Every time you play a new team that might have a little wrinkle in a coverage or a blitz or a twist that you've never seen before, it's always something new that you're putting into your memory bank. And he is getting reps. I mean, he's probably getting more reps as a 3 than I've given the number 3 quarterback, because I want to see him develop, and he is getting better.
Mark, did you take this opportunity to remind the players of their responsibility on social media? And if not, what might you have said at the beginning of the year as sort of a message?
Yeah, I think they all get it. They all know. We're constantly talking to them about social media. We have people come in and talk about the do's and don'ts and all those things. And sometimes kids just want to do what everybody else is doing. I mean, there's a bunch of kids that are acting like they got a bunch of money on Snapchat, and there may be 20,000 kids doing it, but they don't play quarterback at Miami. You know what I mean? So, and they just got to understand that it's different for them, because people know who they are, and they can't do things that they might think is what other people do and all that kind of thing. And so our guys know, and we've had very little of that. I mean, I've been here 3 years, had very little of that type of thing. And, you know, obviously what happened was not what we want. I mean, the fact that I'm answering questions about it shows that it's inappropriate, okay? So, but I mean, how many times have I answered questions on that type of thing in 3 years? Not very often. So for the most part, we're doing a pretty good job, and this certainly was not one of those moments.
Mark, I'm sure with all your experience with coaching guys, you've had a situation before where you kind of switch starters this late in the season. I don't know, but do you have experience having done this before that you can talk about, or you kind of
I'm sure somewhere along the way, I don't remember. I can't sit here and say I remember. Anybody else?
Where you stand at receiver without Hightower now, obviously, and no
Yeah.
line, would you anticipate that Holden is is Arthur ready to help more? Are they still learning?
Well, Pope's been getting more reps. I don't know if you guys have been keeping track on that. It's hard to tell if you don't get a lot of catches sometimes, but he's been in the game a good bit. And, of course, number 8, D, he's been starting a little bit as a freshman. And Cager's been kind of working both sides. And we've had, Jeff inside and outside. He knows both. Harley knows inside and outside. We still got Langham. So we still got guys that can do it. And then the guy who's really practicing well, that somewhere along the way we'll probably get in more what we call 12 personnel, 2 tight end sets, is Mallory. He's practicing extremely well, and we may do a little bit more of that here and there because of his maturity, his growth. I think Ezzard is coming along. Everybody's at different paces, but we got some guys that'll end up being really good when they figure it all out.
Mark, at this point, how long do you anticipate Brian is Hightower now?
We don't think he'll play this week. I mean, we're sure he's not going to play this week, but we're hoping for Duke.
Is, as an offensive follow-up, so you're watching the game tape,
Yeah.
40 out of 60 plays
Yeah.
are bad. And
Well, at least one guy doesn't do what he's supposed to do. And in offensive football, you got to have all 11 execute. And we showed tape too of, hey, look at all the plays when everybody did right. My gosh, look what happened. So, and that was a big point of emphasis. And we took. I think I mentioned before, at least on my coach's show, that on that first practice, which was Tuesday, we took every single play that we had one of those issues, got the exact same defense, and we just made the correction. And you'd think you could make corrections every week, but if you got to get ready for a game the next week, it's hard to take a whole period of your scout work and designate it to something that happened last week instead of getting ready for what's about to happen this week. But by doing that, I think it helped everybody. It helped solidify in their brain how important not only is it to do it well in the game, but you got to do it well in practice in order to expect to do it well in the game. And the other thing, too, is the simulation of the scout team. The better the scout team simulates the look, the better chance we have of executing in the game. So, anyway, appreciate y'all.
Thanks, guys.
Yep.